Tomorrow, Lerato Hufela, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 947. For more, click ewn.co.za. Galaxy 947, Joburg Day, captured by Galaxy Z Flip 5.
He is back.
The way it's meant to be.
Party under the September sky.
With the biggest names in local music.
Shekinah.
Good luck. K.O. Jeremy Loops.
Prince KB.
Mikasa. DJ Kent.
Mango Groove. DJ Zinke. Mafiki Zolo. DJ Maporisa. And so many more.
Saturday, 2 September, Crocodile Creek Polo Club, Lensyria.
Get your tickets now at Ticket Pro.
Galaxy 947, Joburg Day, captured by Galaxy Z Flip 5.
Check out the full lineup
On 947.co.za.
947
947 Music.
Life.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored,
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
and most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Just a few words to Kenan Swart. I think she showed a great deal of quality as a goalkeeper for Banyana Banyana during the FIFA Women's World Cup. She made some key saves as a goalkeeper.
I'd just love to congratulate you. You've made history. You've played exceptional football despite the many criticisms that have come your way. You didn't let those define you, because if I must be honest, if there's one thing that many have never talked about was that stunning save that you pulled against Italy.
And hi to Kaylin. I'm Shane and I'm Robert. I really do feel sorry for Kaylin. Technically gifted goalkeeper in the country. Actually, she is the best.
I'm talking to a hero, and I would not say heroine, a hero, that went out to represent this country. I just want to say to you that we really appreciate what you've done. We will continue appreciating you because you respect your craft. You are the best goalkeeper that we have in this continent.
How do you respond to that? I mean, that's like an honors from the heart appraisal.
That's a big word, and I will never take that for granted.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live.
#MSW.
But can you believe it that on this day in history, the 24th of August, 2018, the French Open tennis, the authorities over there, they banned Serena Williams' black Nike catsuit. Remember that black Nike catsuit that she was wearing that particular day? And in that tournament, they banned it from future tournaments, citing that respect for the game and the place. That's all they said. I don't know whose respect, I don't know whose game. But all I can tell you is that whatever she would have been wearing for the show tonight, we would have just opened our studio doors and welcomed her with open arms. It really did not matter, does not matter, will not matter at all. And that is how highly we respect Coach Desiree Ellis, who I'm going to introduce to you in just a second. But yeah, she's in studio. And I can only imagine what she's had to go through in the past couple of weeks. 60 days being away, coming back, 10,001 interviews, and here we are again bothering her
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Desiree Ellis, the best coach on the African continent. What we saw was just a happy camp and everyone happy to be there for each other, whether injured, wobbling.
And they came in with their beatbox and singing. It was amazing. And
that beatbox was playing what?
My mother's prayer. I think in the song it says, I will never be the same without you. I hope I'm getting this right, guys.
Look, we're not introducing you yet. What was it about the song that was making it happen?
You get into the motions, man, and you become so energetic.
And as you form that circle, who's leading in prayer?
All of us, Robert. A lot of our players, and Delia as well. Before, when she comes into that dressing room, before she even plays, she's down on her knees saying her prayers.
Marawa Sports Worldwide, Monday to Friday weekdays.
Yeah, we've set the scene beautifully, haven't we, with that clip of African champions as soon as they got back into the country. That was our exclusive interview with Desiree Ellis back then. But hey, she's back in the country. Bags have been unpacked, I hope, rested. I think she was telling me slightly otherwise in terms of the resting part of things. I don't know if maybe she's just taken a little toiletry bag, a toothbrush or something, almost like a Chipper United appointment. Who knows? But man, I mean, what a tournament. If you go back to FIFA Women's World Cup, and what that was for Banyana Banyana and their coach, as well as the entire team. I mean, top-class performance. Top class. Yeah, silly mistakes. I think in football, we all are guaranteed to have a silly mistake or two here and there. But you cannot take away the grit, the determination from the team, and you can't fault them one bit. I think we had a great chat yesterday with Kaylin Swart, and she was very open, very gutsy, very transparent with us. And I think the same will happen again tonight. I mean, what's next? Where to? Where do we go from here? I mean, how do we grow from this very, very promising campaign? And you'd have to be new in football if you go about criticizing until the end. And I'll justify why I say that. We're going to be unlocking the World Cup with the woman who probably knows better than all of us. I call myself a couch potato too, just like many of others that are listening to the show. Coach Des, an honor and a privilege. Welcome.
Rob, it's always good to be here. You always call me after a match, after a tournament, and here I am again.
For many a year, even before it became fashionable to associate and align with the senior women's national team. So I'm happy that you've been consistent in the same way we've been consistent in reaching out, even way before South Africans even knew maybe a handful, maybe 5 of the players in the Banyana Banyana team. But right now, though, you ask South Africans, they will rattle the names. Does that even make you prouder, happier that our association and alignment with Banyana has become so much more stronger?
It's very encouraging, first of all, because in the past, you didn't have female role models. Now I think there's so many out there. And not just the group that went to the World Cup, but there's more. You know, we have a bigger group. Unfortunately, we can only could choose 23 for the World Cup. And the bigger group also, they are role models to the young kids out there. And I think it's really important that they are now female role models. When I was growing up, I didn't have a female role model. I had a male role model. But now, through the exploits of Banyana Banyana, they are now female role models.
In football, especially.
Yes.
Because we could have had role models in tennis, we could have had them in netball, we could have had them in virtually any sport, including, racing. Back in the Zolabad days, and, she was running, she was there with Mary Decker, and it was a whole host of female athletes that were there for the taking in terms of being role models. What does this mean in terms of the overall turnaround in the sport, not only in South Africa, but globally?
I think... if I had to say, I've only been to 2 World Cups, but I've watched others. I think this was most probably the best ever. If you look at what has happened during the World Cup, I think we will look back when we're sitting in the sun, no longer in football, and I think we will look back and say, we could have won this.
I heard you say that.
We could have won this.
The whole Desiree Ellis was saying that we could have won this World Cup. Why?
When you look at the teams that was left, and you look at how we performed, we had a chance like everyone else. It was such an open World Cup, Rob. Spain won the World Cup, but they lost 4-0 to Japan. That's why I'm saying it was such an open World Cup. The USA struggled. Brazil didn't get out of the group. Germany didn't get out of the group. It was such an open World Cup that if you went on a run, and you were consistent, there was that possibility. And we knew there was that possibility.
Drawing that picture, and I'm glad, I was so inspired when you said that we could have won the World Cup and just how open it was. Because we've got to lay down the marker. We were in a group when we went to the World Cup ranked 54th. Sweden were there. They were ranked number 3 in the world. Argentina 28th. Italy was 16th overall in the world. No one gives you a chance. They say, these ones are just coming here to make up numbers. But what I always tried to emphasize was that we were going to this World Cup as African champions. Did that make a difference?
I think it did. It gave us a lot more confidence. It gave us a lot more momentum. It gave us that oomph to say that at the WAFCON we went through a lot of adversity, but yet they stepped up. And, you could see it at training. You could see it when we had discussions that the players were really, really up for it. You didn't have to motivate them. We did as much analysis as we could on Sweden specifically, because that was the key game for us. That was the game that was going to set the tone for the rest of the tournament. And we were really close to getting a result in that game. But the top side that they are, they find ways and means. And they, unfortunately, whichever way you look at it, they are the set-piece queens. They've done it against each and every team they've played against, even though they got undone with the set-piece, when they played Spain. But even when we went to watch the Italy game, the first 3 corners were goals. So they knew what they could use to try and get out of it. But if you looked at the game overall, we were in that game, So we knew that we needed to be on top of our game. We had a game plan for that. The analysts, really gave us as much as they could on the opposition. We had trained similarly from February on how we were going to approach the game, because it was really important. Because we knew we might not have a lot of the ball, but we also knew that when we get the ball, we can do a bit of damage. And I thought the players were absolutely magnificent, but cut it at the end, of course.
Was that what you described as the lack of professionalism within? I mean, you spoke quite extensively about legs running out in the Netherlands game, but then you look at who was the man of the match. So, player of the match on that day is a goalkeeper. We'll get down to the specifics of how much he had to save in that game. What then do you attribute? Because a lot of us can talk about, we don't have a professionalized league and talk about it ad nauseum. But what about it from a playing perspective, Des? Can you describe and say, that is the difference, that's the fine difference between us who are not professional and these European sides who survived and went on who are professional?
I think it's also a bit of lack of concentration, because they had about 12 corners before that, and we dealt with it perfectly. And the 13th one, we didn't. But when you look at it, they play at a certain level week in, week out. And that's the level that they maintain and can go up. We play in our leagues, with all due respect, it has gotten better, but we play at a very, very low level. And very rarely are our players challenged at that level. So we needed to be tactically concentrated for the duration of the game. For the duration. And sometimes here and there, there's a lapse of concentration. Sometimes you don't get punished. But at this level, every little chance, is a chance for the opposition. And we had done so well up until that moment, But that is how you grow, and we got better as the tournament went along. But we were really gutted, though, that we didn't get a result out of that game. But you couldn't fault the players, and they look so beautiful in that black kit.
No, they did. I loved it. I was just like, my goodness, have we looked any better recently? And the answer is no, we haven't. And I mean, going back to, I think, Daphne van Demselaar, who was the goalkeeper then for the Netherlands, 7 shots that she had to stop from South Africa. I mean, that's a stat that is on its own fantastic. As a coach, you look at that, the quality of the Netherlands, runners-up in the World Cup prior to that. And here we're facing them. So 7 shots, 4 of them were from Thembi Kgatlana. Gets player of the match. It says we want it. We are getting into the box. Maybe we're not quite doing or making the right decision-making at times. How then do you instill that? We saw it in Italy. in the Italy game. We kind of got it, and that's why we got the result that we did. Kaylin made great saves. Up front, things were going on and happening. But back to that game with Daphne's saves, what did that say about us?
We always knew that we're a team that's going to create chances. We always knew that. We said if we can keep a clean sheet, we have a chance. And in that game, we could have been up at halftime. And I'm not sure whether they would have been able to come back. But losing Jermaine and losing Bambanani really set us back. But more so Jermaine, because she's very instrumental in giving the support to Tembi. And I think Jermaine doesn't get the credit for the work that she puts in on and off the ball, because she is so key on and off the ball, where she supports Tembi up higher, where she's always knowing what Tembi is going to do next. Because, I looked at the stat of the quickest player. I think Tembi's quicker than that, honestly. I think she's gotten quicker.
Yeah.
And you have to thank Louisville here for putting her in that condition. Maybe 2 months down the line, she would have been better and had more game time.
The injury put her off.
Had more game time, but they did magnificent to get her there. And it's playing or training at that level every day, executing, finishing sessions under pressure. That's the only way that you get better, because that helps with decision making. Things happen maybe 20, 30 times quicker than what you are used to where you are playing in your league. And when this happens, you sometimes make the wrong decision. But there was something on the FIFA.com about goalkeeping and about that goalkeeper, of how and if you look from behind, Tembi had nowhere to shoot. And she had positioned herself so well. And 4 meters away, which the goalkeeper analysis guys from FIFA was saying was just perfect, because they used one of those as well. But for Tembi just to get into that position says how good she is. For players to play her into that position says the runs that she makes. Now, it's that little step where we've got to work on, not just Tembi, but everyone else getting into a position to finish. And also, we spoke about minimizing the mistakes at this level. And they're going to creep in. There's no game without mistakes. There's no perfect game, because even if you win, you're still looking at what you can be better at. And, I think more the Argentina game. We lost the Sweden game, but I think we were more disappointed and gutted because it's a game we should have and could have won.
Yeah, no, please don't take me back to that Sweden game. I almost threw something at the TV. But again, there was a great deal of pride. I got to just tell everybody listening that we're also live on the YouTube channel. Good to see the comments that are coming through. Monji Klaba saying that great interview, we appreciate. Stefan Kweza says, congratulations, Coach Desiree. You did the country proud. Bongani Majeni. Yes, says Barob. You know what? Coach Ellis and the squad performed well. The nation is proud of them. Austin Banda says, good interview as always. Beat says that, Rob, we don't have the players to play a defensive game, male as well as the women. So maybe let's chat about that when we come back from the break. Coach Desiree Ellis is my guest, coach of the African champions, Banyana Banyana, who's with us here in studio. And maybe even after the break, we'll take some of your WhatsApp voice notes. We'll take any questions or comments, because I'm sure the nation has been dying for this moment. We've been waiting for this moment for Coach Desiree. And she said, you know what, tomorrow she heads off to Cape Town. She deserves a break. We don't want to stress her too much, but the time that we do have, we'll also find out about the future, because we can't always believe that we're going to have Coach Desiree forever. We can't believe that, the other countries, the other nations have not been watching what she's done for South Africa, given their lack of professionalism within the league, which is not. How she's taken us from absolutely nowhere to somewhere. We can't say that come September, she'll still be coaching in the United States of America. Remember, we have to play the USA come the end of September. 2 games, Cincinnati as well as Chicago. Will she be sitting on the bench? Find out.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live. In 3, 2, 1. On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
Load shedding is a controlled way to balance the supply and demand of electricity on the power grid and to prevent a blackout. Eskom and government are working hard to solve the energy crisis and improve power generation capacity. If we all switch off, and use as little as possible, we could help reduce load shedding stages. Let's work together by switching off to reduce load shedding.
Up the ante and place your bets on Lotto Star's live poker tables. Your decision could be life-changing. You could win instant payouts of over 5 million rand by placing a bet on the popular Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Teen Putty, Casino Hold'em, Side Bet City, Two-Hand Hold'em, and so many more. May the best poker hand win. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Have you seen our upgraded currency with enhanced security features? Identifying a genuine banknote is easy. Just look, feel, and tilt. Hold the banknote against the light and look for the Big 5 watermark unique to each denomination. Feel the race print on Madiba's portrait and tilt to see the security thread change color. For more, download the SA Reserve Bank Currency app and spend your money with confidence. Our money, our pride. SA Reserve Bank, connecting us.
The best of beauty starts at Dis-Chem Pharmacies with great offers on leading color cosmetic brands such as Palladio, Revlon, LA Girl and Maybelline. With the help of our professional in-store consultants, try out some new color cosmetics to add to your makeup bag. And look out for 2+1 free offers and free gifts with purchase because we love to treat you. Go in-store or shop online for the best of beauty. Now on until 10 September at Dis-Chem Pharmacies. Better beauty starts here.
OK presents the Big Deal Weekend. Save big with blockbuster bargains featuring Bokome Wheat Bix 450 gram, just 25 rand. Cool baked beans in tomato sauce, 410 gram, 2 for 25 rand. And Coca-Cola Original Taste Less Sugar Soft Drink 1.5 liter, 3 for 40 rand. 4 days only, this Thursday to Sunday. Excludes OK Express and OK Urban. Only in OK, owners you can count on.
Let's be honest. We all need a break. A moment to escape the grind and just take it easy, to shrug off what's on the news and enjoy chilled views. With Suzuki, everything is made easy. Affordability? Made easy. Our range of vehicles offer you quality and value without knocking your budget. Fuel efficiency? Made easy. Enjoy longer journeys and fewer trips to the pump. And when it comes to fun and adventure, Suzuki makes it easy. Experience the thrill of the open road. Make the easy choice and have it all with Suzuki. Visit suzukiauto.co.za to view our deals.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The Banyana goalkeeper here, Kaylin, in conversation. An important question though, because FIFA does release those stats, and at the end of every tournament, based on a performance on the field and the technical teams that analyze these games, you were right there.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was pretty surprised. Obviously, it's a great achievement. Obviously, just to be in the top 10 is massive, and that also just validates a lot of the hard work that I've put in. All I wanted was to do my best.
Where it matters most is when the football language is being spoken, and it's being spoken positively in your favor.
I didn't just play at the World Cup. I showed up and I did what I needed to do for my country.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The Banyana goalkeeper here, Kaylin, in conversation.
You know, when they're coming for your life and, saying that I shouldn't be playing the football. I wasn't meant to be playing football. I should be in the kitchen, cooking or being at home doing nothing. But yeah, it just got so much that I didn't want to, be a part of it.
But why would they say that now? I mean, that's a crazy part. You've been playing football for as long as I've known you.
They only realize that now that Kaylin Swart exists. I've been around for a very long time.
Don't let it stop you from smiling. Just keep trying. Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Yeah, I gotta keep on smiling. Kaylin Swart last night right here on hashtag MSW. Marawa Sports Worldwide live on the YouTube channel, also live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. So wherever you are around the country, the continent, or the world, we celebrate the return of the heroes, but also getting a perspective now from the coach herself in terms of what went down. I think you were a bit intrigued about that comment about us being some type of way defensively and a different way offensively. What did you make of that comment?
Look, Rob, we looked at Zambia. They were very open and tried to play their game, and you've got to also come in with a game plan, and make sure that you don't open yourself up and then you're 3-4-0 down and chasing the game. And we sat down with the senior players, and I said, listen, we're not going to have a lot of the ball. So we need to start working without the ball. And what do you think of it? And one said, well, we a possession-based team. I said, yes, but we might not have the ball. So we need to work without the ball. And, they were in agreement, and they stuck to that game plan because we had analyzed them. The analyst, Sina Sipo, had given us this huge analysis of Sweden because it was the first game. And yet everything he said and everything that was shown happened the way it happened. So the players understood all of those things, what was going to happen, etc., that the set pieces were going to come in. And we trained that a lot, not as much as we maybe could have and should have, but we trained it. We trained it from a long time. Maybe if we had more time, we could train it more, but we did, just to make sure that we understand and the different players' roles in all of that and the communication at that. So we felt that the best way to get a result was to play the way we did and make sure that when we get the ball that everybody supports, which we did, because we had a couple of shots, we had a couple of chances in the Sweden game, and to concede right at the end, we were just really gutted about that. In the second game against Argentina, we felt that we could be a little bit more offensive. We changed the system a bit, and the result was there. We got the goals. We could have got more. In the end, one or two players just ran out of steam. We had to make changes, which we almost didn't make in the first game, and then just didn't come together. Rafiel were getting injured, put us back, but then Kalosa came in and really didn't want to play her because she was on a yellow card and would miss the next game, and she came in and got an early yellow card. But she was absolutely magnificent in that role and brought us the control back. And then she got the yellow, and the referee then said, next one you're off, and you just try to get her off the pitch as soon as possible to rather than play with 10. And I felt we should have won that game. The goals we conceded, we could have done better, clear the ball better, but also track the player back better, but it is what it is. And then obviously the Italian game, traveling then from Dunedin back to Wellington, the Italian game was a must. And we went to watch, the technical team went to watch the game the night before. Or the previous game, watching Sweden, and after the first three corners, we were just like, wow, 3-0 down from three corners, and we knew then it was up to us. We knew that we had a chance, and we analysed them as well, and they played slightly different to what we analysed. I think they were a little bit afraid of our pace, with the left back normally pushing up high, but she didn't. She pushed inwards into the midfield to overcrowd the midfield, because they were afraid. One of the defenders also was heavily strapped up, and a teammate of Rafielwe also had come on. That's the player that scored the own goal that came on, and she gave us a little bit of inside info. As you saw, she was on the bench, and sometimes I had to just, let's she was also on the other side. But, I think going into halftime, we knew we were in the game, and conceding the way we conceded against, not picking up, not concentrated. We conceded early though, but leading up to that, we'd actually trained a lot. What happens if we go behind? Because we really hadn't been behind in the tournament. What happens if we go behind? Certain scenarios and etc. And we trained that, and they came back magnificently. I mean, when Hilda gets in front of goal, she really misses. And then I saw 11 minutes, and I thought, we've got this. We've got this. And then they added the extra 5, but that goal, I mean, from the pass from Jermaine, the pass from Hilda, I don't think that's something that you can train. It's just something that from playing together, they're used to that. And our front three obviously were very key in all of those, and getting that goal, and then, certain players cramping and falling around, and, because it takes a lot out of you, We had Robin come in when Kalosa couldn't play, and I think she helped a lot to get 90 minutes out of Linda, because the way Linda plays with the pressing, she sometimes runs out of steam, and we needed Linda to be on the pitch, and we still had discussions with her leading up to that as well. But at the end, oh my goodness, there was crying and laughing and celebrations, and it was just over the top.
And we saw that, and I think the ladies kept it together. The uncomfortable questions do come through, and that was one of them. And sorry, Coach, go ahead.
What was also key when we had gone 2-2, we knew that, we needed to throw the kitchen sink at them. While I was standing, getting in the game, the rest of the technical team, Coach Shorty, Coach Tina, Coach Shalene was sitting. How can we help this, and they came with a paper, and it was 3 at the back. I just passed it on, and then they looked. I said, yes, 3 at the back. We're going to go for this now. You know, we hadn't trained the system in a long while. We played it a very long time ago, but now it was just throwing the kitchen sink at them. What's the use of being 2-2, and you go out because you're not 2-2? We just threw the kitchen sink at them and thought we're gonna just go for it. That's why, you know, credit goes to the people behind the scenes. They don't always get the credit that they deserve for working behind the scenes. When everybody's maybe sleeping, we're still busy working, we're still busy having conversations, etc. So, you know, to the staff behind the scenes and the technical team, a big thank you to them too, because they have been absolutely magnificent.
When you talk about the backroom stuff, I also just want to talk about exactly what you're saying now about the slight issue of an adjustment at the back, because here's a quick WhatsApp voice note talking about the very same issues defensively.
Hey, Robert Matuputu, Marawa, Shengwane, Nglaitewen Tepen, Morningside. No, firstly, I must say, I'm a big fan of Desiree, big fan, and I'm supporting him. I'm supporting her from day one till today. I still support her. But I think he may just firstly apologize to the nation, because she left Janine van Wyk. I believe we needed her in that World Cup. And the decision for not playing Dlamini, I think it was a wrong decision, because we all know, we all see that Dlamini is number one goalkeeper in Africa. So I think she deserves to play. I believe if we have Nonko and Janine van Wyk, I believe, and Amanda in goal, I believe we could reach the finals of the World Cup. Because up front, we were very good. Tembi and Mahaila, we were very good. But the problem is at the back. But anyway, I support her. I still believe in her. Thanks, Robert.
And I love the fact that emphasis, I believe, because that is a personal opinion. Let's get to that uncomfortable Dlamini issue so that people don't further bombard you with it. A decision that was taken by you as the head coach, a situation that we chatted to very openly even yesterday with Kaylin Swart. And she was very open and transparent about it. Give me your version in terms of that, what the people see versus what you know.
Look, Robert, you know, when you play certain opposition and they press you high, you need someone that can help you from the back. And we felt that with Kaylin's distribution, with Kaylin's kicking game, both left and right, she would give us more. We sat down with the technical team and it was unanimous. I didn't have to make a final decision, but it was unanimous in her getting us on the front foot. There was one time that with a kick, she put Tembi on the attack. And we needed that. Otherwise, we would have been on the back foot all the time. And when I select 23 players, I back all 23 players. When I select a starting 11, I back each and every player. There is going to be mistakes. So do I then change the whole team? Because not one player makes a mistake, but everyone makes mistakes in the game. So I've got to back who I bring on. And when you look at it, what did she do wrong in goal? What did she really do wrong in goal? When you look at it, what did Bongeka, because they're talking about Noko, we knew that we were not going to have a lot of the ball, but we also knew that when we had the ball, we needed players that was really good on the ball. And when I look at Bongeka, she won so many tackles, she had so many interceptions, but it's what she did with the ball that eventually got us into a position. Noko's a fantastic defender, make no two ways about it, but we needed something else. We needed something else to help us in that situation. And it helped us in that situation. With the football that we wanted to play, we needed players that were good on the ball that would give us that. And yes, they can say you need a goalkeeper that can catch the ball and etc. And Kaylin wouldn't be in the stats if it wasn't for that. And like I said, if a player makes a mistake, you now take that player out because then you need to replace the whole team. So
because they all make mistakes.
Exactly.
And, and she said it herself yesterday.
We backed that.
Yeah.
We backed that because I don't think she did anything wrong. If you look at the goals we conceded in the second game, it was a clearance that didn't go far, was top corner. I don't think any goalkeeper would have saved that. And the second goal is most probably the shortest player in the Argentinian team that put it in the corner. So defending starts from up front, not from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper makes a fantastic save. We're into the last 16. But then the goalkeeper, like Jermaine said, the goalkeeper makes that mistake, and she's then, that mistake is what they what they put on her. But that is the nature of the game, and we just backed. I think in 2018, Kalen was the starting goalkeeper at the WAFCON. In 2019, it was Andile at the World Cup. 2021, Aisha Bohari, it was Kalen. Andile hadn't played yet. WAFCON, it was Andile. World Cup, it was Kalen. We are blessed that we have quality goalkeepers that we can step up at any time and raise the levels. With Janine had said, I had conversation with her. She had said because of an injury, she didn't feel that she would be ready to go.
And you brought her to camp, which is, again, an indication of your intention.
Yes, I would have done that because before we released the squad, I had a conversation with Janine.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she was not available. But you got to give credit also to the players that played in those positions. Did really well. We knew we had Noko, we knew we had Bongeka, we knew we had Tisetso, because Tisetso came on when Bambanani got injured, and you almost didn't see the difference. Bambanani is a top quality player, but she just stepped into that role. Didn't play much at the World Cup in 2019, but stepped up. The same Bongeka didn't play at all in 2019, but he also played there as a DM, and people didn't even see that and wondered why. We had played there against Australia, so we knew exactly what she was capable of.
I mean, a lot of reinvention of positions, and I think Noko stands out as being one of the greatest, and that is why her longevity within the game, having moved from a top striker that we had into one of the best defenders that we currently have. And as you say, you need something for a particular game. But we'll go through lots of the questions. Maybe before we take a break, here is another one which I really think is an important one.
Vin and Rob and Coach Desiree Ellis. Coach, I just want to say that you are a top tactician who needs to be awarded the highest sporting honor for the team's achievement at the World Cup. And my question to you, Coach, is more around the research that was conducted, which highlighted that there's a link between menstrual cycle and injuries in women's football. And I just need to find out, how did your team navigate this natural complexity during the tournament? And I just hope that one day you will write a book where you'll tell us what was going through your mind at Tsakani Stadium, knowing that a day before England had their farewell match with 20,000 supporters at Wembley Stadium, where they were playing against Portugal. And I believe that our ladies deserved something similar to that. And I just want to, I hope that one day you'll unpack that in your book. It will be highly appreciated. Really wishing you all the best in your future endeavors.
Yeah, she'll have to write another volume 2 book now, wouldn't she, about the World Cup? And I really, really echo that. Let's talk about the natural complexities that he does, talk about, the issues about injuries and the menstrual cycles. An important point that maybe is not spoken about enough.
We were on a CAF FIFA conditioning course a year ago with top people, fitness conditioning coaches from the US, and working with FIFA and working in the US now. And others, and a lady who's done extensive research on the menstrual cycle, Georgie. We were on there, and I knew a lot of it working with Coach Vera. When players were on their menstrual cycle, they would do coordination before they joined the training. But we felt we needed to do more. We weren't, as much resources as the other countries. So we got in Simone Connolly, who was a top fitness coach.
Training Benzema now. Sorry.
A top fitness coach. We got her in. She assisted with the menstrual cycle. We got an app. So players would log their menstrual cycle. So we knew exactly, come July or come that game, who would be on their menstrual cycle. And before every training session, she would take all the players that are on the menstrual cycle, and they would do a lot of different coordination to join the training. We just needed to make sure that we monitor that, because when you're on your menstrual cycle, your ligaments is lax and you can pick up an injury. They talk about the ACL. There's not enough research been done into that, whether that is it. But she was also key in the rehab of players. Before we left, Karabo had got injured, and we were told that she wasn't going to make the World Cup. And when I spoke to Simone, she said to me she will, and I believed her. Tisetso was also injured, and both of them were available for the World Cup. So, she did a fantastic job. I actually chatted to her today.
Wow.
On the other side, just to find out how things were going.
Yeah.
Chatted to her, but that's the reason why we brought her in, just to concentrate solely and specifically on that. So we had the presentation with the players on how it works, what they need to log. So she would say, Coach, before that game, on the 2nd or the 3rd of July, this is what's going to happen. These are the players that are currently in the certain stages of the menstrual cycle.
Okay.
So it was really, really important for us to be able to monitor that.
An important bit of information about, as I said, maybe a subject we don't talk too much about, but also giving us, I don't know if you're giving us a hint that you spoke to Simone now all the way in Saudi Arabia. Is that going to be your next job in Saudi?
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. #MSW.
Everyone is always screaming at us to do things. In the ads, in the papers, on the news feed. Things like, do the right thing. Do it now. Are you a talker or a doer? Do it all. And if it doesn't scare you, you're not doing it right. And in times of crisis, do something is pretty much the first thing you're told to do. Like now. But sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing at all. To stop and think. To not go with your first impulse, but maybe a more well thought out one. It's why we prefer to think long term. Because an investment philosophy that calmly sets its sights on tomorrow will always tune out the noise of today. Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Say goodbye to flat and boring. Say hello to Y2 Cool and Samsung Galaxy Flip Town. Become Tebe Magugu's muse and get your very own Tebe creation. Glam it up and show off your fashion riz in our light booth. We know there's no one like you, and there's nothing like the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Come and experience Flip Town at the Zone Rosebank from the 18th to the 30th of August. And join the flip side. T's and C's apply.
When you choose Plascon, you choose strong and get your share of 10 million Rand in guaranteed rewards. Spend a minimum of 1,500 Rand on any Plascon products and claim your share. Plus, you'll be placed in the daily draw for the chance to win a 1,000 Rand grocery voucher and the fortnight draw for the chance to win one of 7 inverters worth 10,000 Rand. Competition ends 30 September. T's and C's apply. Details at pluscon.com.
Yeah, you woke up late vandaag, nee?
Snooze butted.
Now the only seat left in the taxi is at the front in the middle.
ASAD.
It's gonna be Buma 50 front row, 100 back seat.
A whole clip at 6 a.m.
Just as you try remember school stuff.
Pythagoras, parabolas.
The guy in the front moves over to the middle seat.
Danko, mafikizolo.
It's a small pleasure, like getting a King value meal.
No sums needed.
From a very small $39.90.
Only at Burger King.
Feel it now with PS5. It's time to feel more. Feel stronger. Feel freer. Feel faster, tenser, slicker, bolder, wilder, closer, deeper. Feel more and more and more. Heads up to the PlayStation Universe. Save up to 1,500 Rand on select PS5 consoles from the 21st of August to the 3rd of September. Now available at all leading retail outlets. T's and C's apply. Feel it now with PS5.
PlayStation. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Kevin Swart, what's that song? What's that artist that draws out that inner Kaylin Swart?
You know, in the last year or so, I've done a lot of growing and,
Probably soul searching?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And, I leaned on God quite a bit. And Maverick City group, their music was everything to me in this last couple months.
Do you know who these human beings are? Maverick City. This is how we erase any and every problem. Kaylin, in spite of everything that's happened to you, the good, the bad, and there's only going to be good moving forward.
#MSW.
#MSW.
Coach Desiree Ellis is my guest here. Lots of questions on our YouTube feed. As I said, you can watch and listen and comment all at the same time and keep those coming through. It's a final stretch. It's the, what do they call it? The critical stage of the game. Will we concede? I don't know.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and good evening to the coach. I would like to say, job well done, coach. Coach, I've got a question to you. Let's assume that the World Cup was starting tomorrow. Would you apply same strategies, same tactics, and same formation, and same human resources that you utilized in the previous World Cup? If yes, why? If no, why? Thanks, David in Parkwood.
David Parkwood, thank you so much. Nice, short, sharp, and sweet, Coach Des.
Most definitely, yes. You cannot, those are the decisions that we made based on what was in front of us. And I don't regret any decision. Sat down with the technical team whenever we needed to do something, sat down with the medical team whenever we needed to find out something, and I wouldn't change anything.
Hi, good evening, Rob. Good evening, Rob. It's Malama from Willowbrook. Rob, congratulations to Banyana Banyana, and thanks for hosting our coach. But I just want her to clarify something. I hear her saying anyone could have won this World Cup, and we could have won this World Cup. Does she think maybe our preparations, or maybe because we don't have a professional league, or what could be the reason she should tell us why she thinks we could have won but we didn't win? Is it the bonus issues before we went ahead? Portia saying something like, this is the time when we need to see our coach standing with the ladies, with the girls, and can she just clarify all these issues so that as much as they did well, maybe they could have done better?
Issues of bonuses, were those clouding? Could anything have been done differently?
I think when we got to New Zealand, we were completely focused on the task at hand. Completely focused on what was in front of us. We speak about a professional league, playing at this level each and every week. Training at this level each and every week would certainly help, yes. I don't think we stood back for any team. The one thing that we always talk about is our finishing, but it doesn't start at Banyana. It starts at the club level. It starts when you put in that extra work that no one sees. It starts there, and it's got to be done under pressure, because we can all do finishing, laying off the ball, and just putting it in the back of the net. It's got to be done under pressure, because when you're playing at this level, you maybe don't even get an extra touch or a third touch. You have to finish immediately. Whereas when you look at the league, players running in on goal, the goalkeeper standing on the line, she takes 4 or 5 touches, she puts it in the back of the net. And, we needed to score more goals than the other team to win.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. Got a message. I'm sure it's somebody that you know quite well. As he says, thank you so much for bringing Coach Desiree. You will have to agree with me that since her appointment, she has changed the face of women's football. The support that she always gives to university football always gives her an edge. We thank her for that vision. University football has changed for good simply because of her appreciation of the game. Well done, Des. Kenneth.
Mr. Ken.
Yes, you knew exactly who that is. What can we say, bro, Ken? But I mean, it's an acknowledgement for someone who's also such a major servant of the game at every level.
Look, Rob, I don't want to miss anything, because as tired as I am, there's still a job to do. I make sure that I go. Wendy Shongwe was seen in 2021. Coach T was at the Varsity Cup because she was there with UWC, and she texted me immediately and said, Coach, you must look at this player. We brought her in. At the time, she was not ready, but we never forgot about her. In the league, she's done really well. She's definitely a player for the future, having only started playing football 2 years ago. So we never forget about a player. We brought Gabby in 2018. Didn't perform as well as we expected, but back again, So we don't forget. We keep it, and we keep monitoring. We keep looking. Even now, we keep looking of who can be added, because you don't only look at short term. If you look at the team, we've refreshed the team on a consistent basis to make sure that, the team is there. Otherwise, if everybody retires at the same time, then, you have a problem, because you haven't looked at getting ready for the future. But like I said, we needed to score more goals. We knew that we're capable of scoring more goals. And, unfortunately, against the Netherlands, we did not. And otherwise, but also then again, If the goalkeeper gets player of the match, it tells you how well we played.
Hey, we were playing in that game. We were not messing around. All right, lots of messages. Benzin Ngobo says, please pass my regards to Coach Des. I think that she's an absolute legend. Her input into my research on the commercialization of women's football will shape the way the professional women's game is rolled out here in South Africa. So more credit coming through various social media platforms. That was from Twitter. Going crazy here on the YouTube channel. Tembele says, ask the coach the advice that she gave to the players. I think she kind of gave us that hint. And also Monty Klaba says, coach, don't worry about what is said about the starting lineup. The final decision is over the technical team. The coach, you made the entire nation to be extremely, extremely proud.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, ukhuluma noSibongeleni kwaMkhwani kaMgaya Mathafen, and good evening to the coach, Des. Mr. Marawa, let me start by saying that I think us as South African football lovers, we are very good at criticizing without knowing the inside information of what's happening to the team. And I would like to recommend Des for a wonderful job he has done with all his technical team and playing personnel. After what they went through before going to the World Cup, I think their preparations were not up for the standard to go and participate in the World Cup. Maybe she can agree with me on that one with those issues about bonuses. But what they did in the World Cup, Mr. Marawa, they made us proud. They made Usbongeleni proud. I don't know about others, but I was very satisfied with their performance. As much as I was willing to see them maybe progress to the semis or even reaching the final, but not all the team will participate until that stage, Mr. Marawa. Some teams will get knocked out. I'm very proud of Coach Des. Thank you.
Very, very proud. I think there's a lot of those that are saying that she did us proud. Sibongeleni, thank you so much indeed. And in respect to your question regarding the bonuses, we did tackle that. And I think, let's pass it on simply because of time. But I think Des acknowledging and appreciating and absorbing the compliment.
Good evening, Rob and Coach. I do not have a question, but I just want to say a job well done. Congratulations to her and her team. She did us proud, and I won't question her selections because I trust her. You know, that is the coach that took Banyana Banyana, to AFCON. That is the coach that won for us the AFCON. That is the coach that took Banyana Banyana to the World Cup. That is the same coach that took Banyana Banyana to Olympics. So what she has done for South African football. So thank you, coach. Angusiye PE.
Sia, thank you so much indeed. More compliments, less yada yada, as they would say. But Audacious is here as well, giving us a comment.
Good evening, Rob. This is Odisha here in Cape Town. Well, Desiree Ellis, the coach of Banyana Banyana. If there is a Hall of Fame for the great people who have really galvanized football in South Africa and in African football, she has to be there going to the World Cup. Unfortunately, we were all watching in awe of how Banyana Banyana were playing. I'm from Zimbabwe, Rob. I've been following Desiree Ellis since he was playing for Banyana Banyana, the pioneers of that team when she was the captain, and she has become one of the most celebrated people, the most powerful lady in African and South African football. And whatever she has done, Rob, from now going forward, South African women's football will never be the same again. I mean, she has brought the ladies of football in South Africa on another level. Now they are on the map, and I'm sure that most of these young girls are going to play in lucrative leagues in the world. One thing which I want to ask Rob, what was the challenge in motivating these girls, especially after the ordeal they had gone through before they went to the World Cup? There were all those things which were happening in camp. What was the words which she impacted to the girls?
What are the words that you impacted on the girls most especially?
Look, Rob, we knew why we were there.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing, and the players knew why we were there. And we said, we can do this, because we needed to be together. We can do this, and we are quite capable of going as far as we can go.
Yeah.
It's up to us. In the games that we played as well, we also tried to just say, keep going. The game's not over. We're still in it, type of things. But you don't need to motivate players at the World Cup.
They're there.
They're there. They know why they're there. Players know why they're there. They're just not there to showcase themselves, but they're putting themselves on the market. They're testing themselves. And if you look at, we've played 4 games, but if you look at the stats, we're right up there with teams, with players that had gone to the final. So it says how well this team played. I mean, I think there was a thing that went viral after the Italy game when I said the players are freaking amazing, and they were.
Yeah. That was beautiful because that was the expression of it.
I mean, they were absolutely. But we've also got to thank the coaches here at home.
Yes.
They work with the players 24/7. We get the players maybe for a week. So a big thank you to the coaches out there, the administrators out there that's involved in women's football. Us getting results is through their hard work. Cecil for being with us for a very long time. I think when they look back, I mean, 2 successive Olympics, 2 successive World Cups, going to the last 16, winning the WAFCON, getting into the final. I think they couldn't be more prouder as a.
And they've been with you from day one.
As a
Sorry to
sponsor.
cut in. I just running out of time, but I need to get to this very important question.
Hi Rob, this is AB Moloi from Naturena. Firstly, let me congratulate the coach for making us proud by reaching the group stages of the Women's World Cup. Please ask coach if it is true that there are interest from other countries for her to come and coach there. Thank you very much.
Are we about to lose you, Coach Des, because Europe is knocking on your door? Are you about to go, Coach?
I think the netball president said it really nicely now the other day. People can think what they want to, but I have a different way of saying it. Everybody has an opinion and everybody says something. But before you actually say that something, make sure that you have the facts because, once you say things, you cannot take it away. And to be honest, I haven't had any calls from anyone. I don't know where everybody's getting that from. I'm supposedly have said this and said that. And, I know who I speak to when I say those things and people take it out of context. And like Tembi said, we're human first before we athletes, before we coaches. And you see many people committing suicide because of mental issues. So we need to also be very careful how we say things. We're not saying don't crit, don't give your opinion. But after all these players also have families.
But what's your desire, though, Des? I'm pushing it because of time. We got a game against USA, 21st and then 24th.
I will be there.
Are you going to be on the bench?
Yes.
But any desire to go and coach in Europe, outside of you not getting any calls?
Look, Rob, it's a dream. After Pizza went and had gone out, he's shown what we're worth. He's shown what we're capable of.
Right.
You cannot say when it's going to happen, but if the opportunity happens, obviously something to think about. Because you also want to grow. You also want to test yourself. You also want to be better, and be better there to be able to bring back again. I think sometimes we're afraid to go that side or afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And
it's got to be brave enough.
I think I've shown over the past years that I'm brave. I think my faith has really helped me in that essence. Has helped me in that essence where when things are not going the way it should be going, I go down on my knees because that's the only way.
Just got a couple of seconds left. All I got to say, more than anything else, we went to the World Cup ranked 54th. We've moved 9 places now to 49th.
The best ranking ever.
And that, for me, deserves a big congratulations. Desiree Ellis, whatever anyone says, we are ranked 49th
45.
world. 45, yes. That's 45th. Sorry, moved. Hey, man, when you look at this thing, 54 to 45, up 9 places. We need to play against stronger opposition.
And it starts now.
Yeah.
That, while we were at the World Cup, the South African Football Association got that fast.
Yeah.
And hopefully going forward, they'll get more better teams. So thank you to them as well.
Because that's what we need to get better rankings.
Yes, but not just better rankings, but playing against better opposition all the time. I mean, the Nations League is happening. And they'll be playing, Sweden will be playing the likes of Netherlands and whoever else every FIFA date. And if we don't play better opposition, we're going to get left behind. But SAFA's come through by giving us the USA. Not just one game.
2 games.
2 games.
And you're going to be on the bench for both of those. Remember, celebrate the fact that we are ranked 45th in the world right now. Desiree Ellis, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thanks for having me.
Marawa Sports Worldwide Live.
In 3, 2, 1.
On 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live.
#MSW.